So today's going to be another story time. I wanted to share with you guys, to me, it's the really fun competition I have between two of my clients. I'm going to give out their names, Margaret and George. George, you guys might know if you guys have watched my YouTube. I did a live video of him. We did a live workout. When was that? Was that November, December? I forget when exactly it was. It probably was around November, December when I did a live stream workout with George. So those of you guys that watch my YouTube channel, you guys will know who he is. And Margaret, if you're on my Instagram, I post her and I post him too. Both of them, the competition has been going live on my Instagram every time they're in the competition. So I'll explain the competition a little bit. It's with the sled, right? This is how the whole story began. Like, I will caveat this by saying is like I don't remember every specific detail, so this story might not be 100% to the T, like perfectly how it went, but this is generally the gist of how everything went. I think it's really fun. So a while back, around last year, I'm training George or whatever, and one of the exercises that I like to have a lot of my clients do is to pull and push the sled. So anyways, I'm training George, and I just noticed he started to get, to be able to pull and push the sled heavier and heavier. I think it was around up in the 200s. He probably just passed like 225 pulling and pushing the sled. And it's 225 when I'm giving these numbers out. This is not including the weight of the actual sled. The weight of the actual sled is 70 pounds, but all the numbers I'm going to give are just numbers of the weight I'm putting on top of the sled. Anyways, so that being said, I think I just randomly told him, oh yeah, out of everybody, like you're doing pretty heavy. Like this is a lot of weight or whatever. He's like, okay, cool, whatever. Now let's go to Margaret. Training her as well. She's pulling the sled, and then I happened to notice. I was like, oh man, you're doing pretty heavy too. Like I was like, I think you're like the second strongest when it comes to the sled. Like this is pretty heavy. I think she was either approaching the 200s or just had surpassed the 200s, but she was kind of like, I don't remember the exact number, but let's say anywhere between like 15 to 25 pounds short of where George was at. And so then I think she asked me, she was like, well, how much was it going to take for me to get to the highest weight, to what the guy who's doing the heaviest is? And I'm going to guess and say it was around 220 pounds. I think at that point, it's like around 220 pounds. So yeah, I think 220 pounds. So you're like, 20 pounds short of it, whatever. And so little by little, she started getting closer and closer. And so then there's this one day when we're at the gym, we're doing the sled, and she had just gotten to reach his max. And then I think up until that point, I had been keying him in. I was like, oh yeah, man, there's this girl, one of my other clients, she's trying to catch up to you, And so I was like, okay, yeah. So he's kind of already, George is already kind of aware of the growing competition that was, coming about. So anyways, back to Margaret. She had just reached the weight that George had. And so you guys know Big Mike. I talk about Mike all the time, right? Big Mike, owner of the KBFIT gym that I train at. He kind of was keeping, like, not keeping track, but like he was aware of the growing competition as well, because he's there when I'm training most of the time. So anyways, that day when she was pulling the sled and she was actually matching him, Mike was like, hey, just put one of those 2.5 plates on top so now you could beat him. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And of course, she's not going to feel the difference of 2.5 pounds heavier. So I just slapped on the 2.5 pounds. And then I sent a picture and a quick video to George. I was like, bro, she finally caught you and she beat you. And ever since then, it's been a constant battle of, okay, she beat me, so I'm going to beat him. Or, yeah, and then, he beat me, I'm going to beat her. And it's been going back and forth. And now they're all the way up into the 400s. So as of right now, Margaret is beating him. His last max was 445 pounds, right? And up until this point, every time they try to beat each other, usually it'll be like 5 or 10 pounds, but Margaret, she's crazy. She'll be like, no, I really want to scare him. And so she'll try to up it more than just 5 or 10 pounds. Sometimes she'll even go 15 pounds. This last time she beat him, like I said, he was at 445. Before that, she was at 435. So he beat her by 10 points, or not 10 points, 10 pounds. And so when she came in this past week, was that Friday, I asked her, I was like, do you want to beat him or do you want to keep it the same? Because mind you, I don't force them to beat each other. This competition is between them two. And now officially that they've met each other twice now. But yeah, I asked her, I was like, you don't have to do this, no pressure, you can keep it to 435 or you can try to do 445. She's like, you know what, just try 460. I was like, 460? I was like, oh no. I was like, are you sure? It's pretty heavy, 460. She's like, I want to try it, 460. I was like, okay. So I slept on the weight, and so as of right now, she's maxed out at 460 pounds. Of course, I posted on my Instagram. I immediately sent a picture and a video to George showing her doing the 460. And he's like, man, so he pretty much told me, he was like, okay, I'm gonna do 475 and put this to rest. So he's trying to like have her tapped out. She's trying to have him keep pushing him. So it's kind of working out. Like their motivation is causing them to do a natural sort of like progressive overload when it comes to the sled. I don't think that either of them probably even imagined they'd be doing this heavy of a weight. They've both surpassed any weight that I could do, because I actually did try to pull the 460 and I was barely able to move it like a couple of inches, and then pushing it was even worse. I was like, yeah, this is too heavy for me, but good luck, y'all. So yeah, they are going at it. And so I guess pretty much the next time I train George, it'll be next week. I don't know if he wants to jump right into the 475 or if he was just joking. I never know what's going to happen. So every time I'm training them, I'm going to I like to figure out, if they're going to try to either match or beat the next one. But it's been pretty fun keeping track of this competition between Margaret and George. So I'm going to give a shout out to Margaret though. For any of you ladies who want to do wax or want to get yourself waxed or whatever, she has her own stuff. She does waxing. So you can find her on Instagram. Hi, I'm Margaret. And hit her up if you're interested in getting waxed. And then shout out to George. You guys know George. We'll probably do another live stream of his workouts one of these days. He actually enjoyed doing the live stream. He said it pushed him to go harder. So yeah, so they both like to go hard, as you see, right? So yeah, if you guys want to keep track of the competition, you guys can follow me on my Instagram. If you're not watching this on Instagram already, obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube and you don't know anything that's going on with this and you're not on my Instagram, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I posted on both of my personal channels and my business one. They're pretty much the same thing. My KBFIT2.0 Instagram is almost the same as my Cameron Bennett Instagram. The only difference is in my Cameron Bennett, my personal one, I post a little bit more like non-fitness related stuff, but they pretty much look exactly the same. So it doesn't really matter which one you follow. Almost the same exact content. So either one is fine. So anyways, hopefully that was a little bit entertaining. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.